Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about how you start a series. This has been asked of me before, or a question asked of me by, anyways, people have asked me that before. Anyway, yeah, so when I started my series, which of course is a Hernandez series, and I don't have a book anywhere near me to show you, but they're back there on my dresser. Anyways, I guess you can't see from my, the Hernandez series, just look it up, Mima on Fire. Anyway, when I started this series, I actually didn't know I was starting a series, and I've talked about that in previous videos. If you look back on my YouTube channel, I've discussed it in my blogs as well. Didn't intend on starting a series. What happened is it just kind of took off. I started writing about this character, Chase Jacobs. It started very innocent. He was like the boy next door, and then all this shit happened to him, and it changed him. It changed who he was and how he's seen the world, and he seemed to get caught up with the wrong people, depending on what you consider the right and the wrong. Yeah, so without going into that too much, it just sort of built from there, because at the end of the first book, I thought, geez, I kind of like to investigate this a little bit more. This character, Diego, came along. Also, I talk about that in my blogs and my YouTube videos. Diego, very charismatic. I thought, I keep going. So I wrote a second book, and the second book became the third book, and you get the idea. So the Hernandez series I've talked about before, of course. I called the Hernandez series because eventually I have George Hernandez come along, and he sort of takes over the series, and he's a former narco. He is in Canada with a legit business, but he kind of goes about things in a less than legit way. He kind of counterculture, as I always say, follows his own rules, makes his own rules, doesn't kind of go by what other people do, doesn't care, doesn't even think about it. It's just automatic. He does his own thing. That's just how it is. Anyway, for me, back to the original question, how do you start a series? Well, in my case, I didn't mean to start a series. It just happened, which is unfortunate, because I could have had book one of the whatever series. Probably wouldn't have been called the Hernandez series, because I had no idea where it was leading. But it probably would have been nice to know ahead. However, for me, if you kind of follow sort of the natural rhythm of what you're doing and your instincts, you kind of don't always know. You just sort of follow it. And that's what happened with me. I think, honestly, as much as you probably want to know in advance, sometimes you just don't. You could have an idea for a series, and you start and you're like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. I don't know if this is a series or a book. But, you know, having said that, I think it's not impossible. If you like have a whole bunch of ideas and you think, I can't fit this into one book, and you probably think further ahead than I do, which most people do. Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. Just sort of plot it out very carefully. Don't hold yourself to it, like this will be book one, this will be book two. You don't know, something else could come along that could inspire you, that maybe pushes book two ideas into book three. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to put that. So how do you start a series? You just start it. Just make sure you have some very interesting characters to carry that series. You could have some great ideas, but if you don't have interesting characters, if you don't have characters that connect with people that are charismatic, enjoyable, relatable, then people tend to lose interest. So I think that's the most important thing. If you're thinking of a series, you can always come up with ideas, and that you don't have to come up with all the ideas in day one. You have to sit down, I'm going to plot out all my book. You don't have to do that. You'll get the best ideas like when you're sitting typing out your story, and it's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and it just pops in your head. I've done that a million times. Some of my best ideas come instantaneous to me. I can't speak today. Came up to me instantaneously as I was writing. Best ideas. Anything you pre-plan, just like with life, usually doesn't always work quite how you thought it was. How do you start a series? You just start it. See where it goes. Don't assume it's going to be so many books. Just see how it flows. That's all I can tell you. See how it goes. Check me out at Mima on Fire. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. I'm looking into some other social media. Oh, Instagram, Mima on Fire, always. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyways, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, share the video. Have a great day.